Everyone chases the third eye, but your gut is the root conduit where cosmic signals anchor into flesh. Nobody tells you this. They rush to the crown and skip the gate that actually opens it. Before intuition ever reached your brow, it was first carved in your belly. Every fear, every instinct, every shock you swallowed as a child etched circuitry into this temple below the navel. This is where safety and spirit first shake hands, where the animal nervous system meets the soul's electricity. You cannot ascend if your body does not feel safe. You cannot see clearly from a nervous system in defense. The lower world must bow before the upper world awakens. Before vision ever rises to the brow, it roars first in the belly. This is the primordial altar where instinct becomes intuition and matter remembers it as light. Your gut is the womb of awakening. You think intuition lives in your mind. That's why it fails. The mind translates, but the body detects. Truth doesn't appear in thought. It arrives in the belly first. Your third eye block isn't metaphysical. It's physiological. You cannot open a cosmic gate while your nervous system still thinks you're in danger. Safety is the first sight. If the gut is chaotic, the vision is distorted. If the belly is tense, the insights collapse. The third eye is the result. Language came later. Thought came later. But this sensing, this signal has been here since the first cell divided. This is the first oracle. The ancient seer beneath thought. The belly does not calculate. It knows. The gut doesn't think. It detects truth before thought arrives. It's a biocosmic lattice. Trillions of microbeings generating neurotransmitters, biophotons, and electromagnetic signatures. You call it gut instinct, but it is ancient intelligence, older than thought, older than language. This field senses truth before your mind can name it. It feels distortion before sound ever leaves a mouth. You feel people before you hear them. You sense motives before words form. You think you're overreacting. You're remembering. Every mystery school guarded one truth. Vision only belongs to those who can feel. If you bypass sensation, you bypass awakening. The eye opens where pain finally softens. Everyone wants mystical sight, but almost no one knows the secret muscle that opens it. Your belly has been clenching for years. Your diaphragm is a doorway. The third eye doesn't open upward. It opens downward first. A clenched gut blocks light. A softened belly becomes prophecy. There is a forgotten organ the scientists only named recently, but the ancients mapped long ago. The mesentery, a golden web folding and holding the intestines, suspending them like cosmic architecture. They called it the inner map, the silk bridge between body and field. When life force rises, this web lights like starlight across water. Bioelectrical reality. This is why the monks fasted. This is why breath masters lowered the heart rate to illuminate the hidden lattice from which intuition climbs into vision. The enteric nervous system, 500 million neurons woven into fascia and lymph, emits coherent light. When you fast, purify, or retain Jing, these neurons fire like stars in a midnight sea. When you empty, when you refine, when Jing isn't spilled but ascends, the belly becomes a lantern broadcasting light to the higher chambers. Most people don't lack intuition. They lack nervous system clarity. Fried nerves cannot carry prophecy. A trembling gut cannot hold revelation. The vagus nerve carries that signal upward into the heart and crown. If the gut trembles, the heart cannot open. If the belly holds chaos, the crown only flickers. Stability below is clarity above. Safety is the first mystic initiation. Still the belly. Regulate the breath. Clear the channel below. And the upper temples bloom. The heart cannot open if the gut still remembers danger. Your microbes make serotonin, tryptophan, even DMT precursors. In a charged state, peptides and cerebrospinal fluid create a standing wave that primes both pineal and heart torus together. This is why initiates began with purification. They were frequency resets for the lower conduit. They understood you cannot build heaven on a trembling earth. Bitters, breath, fasting, stillness, preparation. A tuning of the lower conduit so the upper temple can ignite. The mystics knew the gut is the furnace, the breath is the bellows, and the crown is the quiet flame that rises after. But listen closely. You cannot fill the belly with light until you face the shadows stored there. Every time you swallowed your truth, your gut remembered. Every boundary you betrayed to survive, your gut held it. Every forbidden emotion you pressed down into silence, it lives there waiting to rise. You are not broken. You were armored. And now, piece by piece, you uncoil. Through presence, digest your emotions, and your intuition becomes clear as water. When the belly hums, the crown stabilizes. You do not force ascension. You do not pry the third eye open. You purify the root flame and light rises by nature's law. When the gut hums, the heart flowers. When the heart steadies, the crown becomes still fire. A stable awakening rises from the belly. Always has, always will. You are not climbing to heaven. You are remembering the heaven encoded in flesh. Bring peace to the gut and the heavens unfold without effort. Your gut is the foundation of cosmic circuitry. Everyone tries to rise first, to go up, to escape, to transcend. But ascension is descent into wholeness, down into the belly, down into the breath, down into the softness you once feared. Only then does the crown open clean, without distortion, without ego noise, without spiritual ambition. You do not climb the ladder of light. You sink into truth until gravity becomes grace and grace lifts you. This is how the eye opens. This is how you remember. This is how you rise. Through surrender into the temple of the gut.